All right, thank you for joining me. I just wanted to kind of go through a brief tutorial on how to make a stock portfolio or how to make your investment portfolio. So with investing, especially long-term investing, you want to make sure you have a diversified portfolio that's going to withstand the test of time. So something that over time is going to give you consistent results. Now, we all know that the stock market and investments kind of go up and down, but over the long run, you want to see your portfolio kind of rise, right? So you can see that here in the close to about 12-ish slots, I have individual ETFs, sort of index funds, mutual funds, some just stocks that I have, and you can see I own shares, and they're in different categories. So you have Ford Motor, right? So everyone kind of know, especially in America, Ford. You have this Ares Capital, which is primarily a real estate investment trust. You have Shaw Communications, which I believe is in Canada. So it's communication, and then you kind of go through these other ones. So you have bonds, more core conservative ETF. You have a bank, so Bank of Nova Scotia, and then you have some other ones in the sort of, I think these are also ETFs, but I just kind of labeled them mutual funds. But you have a dividend one, a high income fund, a corporate high yield fund, and then you have some metals and mining, some material stuff. So you kind of want to be a little diversified, but you want to make sure that you kind of hold it for the long term and just keep growing your position size. So currently, most of my position sizes are fairly low. I only own about 25 shares here and there, but in some of the other ones, I own 100 shares, 70 shares, almost 200 shares there. So as months go by, you want to, each month, take a portion of whatever your income is and buy some more stock or buy some more other investments. So, and over time, you'll see that your portfolio begins to grow, and you start to receive some passive income. And with all these individual sort of mutual fund stocks and stuff, you can I'll go down here real quick. All of them give a dividend, and a lot of them, if you look at the dividend history, they're very good at paying out. So right now, here's kind of the yearly estimate of the dividend payout, my number of shares. So this would be my estimated yearly dividend payout. So for this particular PGHY, I have 173 shares. So on estimate, I'm going to get about $207 for the year just in dividends. So that's strictly dividend. So if you add up all of these, and they're all different, all of them have kind of a different payout. If you add up all of them for a total sort of account size with just these, about a little less than 10,000, I'm earning about 5.58% just in dividends. So if the underlying price doesn't change one bit, I would still make about 5% a year, which is decent. It's not, it's not great, but I feel, for me and my investment style, I feel like that's pretty good. So, and as you kind of grow your portfolio, let's say I take this one, for example, and I add 75 shares to that position, and you can see how I would increase my sort of yearly dividend payout. So that's kind of how dividends work, and so you just kind of want to keep on building those position sizes so you get more of a payout. Next, I have a few other investments that I invest in. Not only do I do this stock and having my portfolio, I also do Fundrise. So if you're not familiar with that, it's a real estate investment trust, kind of like what the Ares Capital does, but it's kind of nice because they handle all the property management and purchasing. I just kind of give my investment and they kind of do that, and I get dividends and interest on that money. And right now this is kind of, I think last year, half the year, I made about 6%. So if for the whole year, it might have been closer to 12% for that, a return for that year. But I think in the past 4 years of this company, I think it's averaged between about 10 to 12% a year return, which I think is pretty great. So I keep investing in that. Next, just bonds, and the bonds payout. I go through treasurydirect.gov, and I think I'm getting about 2.3% return, which, not great, but, bonds for, these I-bonds through the federal government in the U.S., they're pretty reliable, pretty safe investments. So I have a little bit of money in there, not much. And then I always encourage people to invest in their 401k, especially if they're going to match. So my company matches 4%. And so I put in 4%, they give me 4%. And the longer I go with the company, I think they match up to like 8%. So if I've been there like 15 years. So I think that's, definitely take advantage of that. Next, I have an HSA, a health savings account. And right now I have about $1,400. And what's nice is my work actually pays a certain amount. So beginning of January, they give me, I think, $600 or something, and that should last me the whole year. And then I also add my own contributions, right? So I think building up that is awesome, because I think once this hits 2,000 or 3,000, I'm able to invest that in the money market. So I think that's a great opportunity. But, health expenses definitely arise. So having that little nest egg, just in case, I have a daughter. So if my daughter gets sick, I have that health savings account that I can use to help cover any of those purchases. Lastly, you have your cash, which honestly, you don't want too much in cash, but you definitely want to have some. Life happens, right? So right now I have about 3,000. I think, for me, that's pretty good. I like to have about $2,000 to $3,000 just in cash, just so if I need it, I have it, and I can just deposit it back into my regular checking account and make sure I pay for some things that come up, and I don't have to get into credit card debt. Even though I like credit cards, you get the points, but as long as you're paying off that balance, not having to pay interest, you're doing great. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video. And what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be updating. So today is the 11th, and you can see kind of my balance is around 20,000, and these are my investments. And this is strictly just my investments for long term, and I'm just going to kind of grow it. So over the next 5 years, I want to try to get this number up to close to 100,000. So I just want to kind of document that progress. And so this is more for me, and hopefully if anybody can find any benefit to themselves on how to invest. Now I don't recommend just going and copying what I'm investing in, but you want to do your own research and kind of have your own risk tolerance. And but if this kind of helps you get started in creating your portfolio so you can, be financially free and sort of start receiving that passive income, that's great. So again, thank you. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe, and hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.